Since he was small, he dreamed of wearing a uniform. He pursued his dream by earning a place in a higher command school in the region. On February 24, he embarked on a mission to liberate Kyiv. Yet his convoy found itself surrounded by the enemy. Despite being outnumbered and severely wounded, he kept on fighting. He defended his comrades until he only had one grenade left. In the last act of heroism, he detonated himself and took the enemy with him. When we see examples of such heroism as the feat of the young Nurmagomedov, a native of Dagestan, Lak by nationality, and other soldiers, I want to say, I am Lak, I am Dagestan, I am Chechen, Ingush, Russian, Jew, Tatar, Mordvin, Ossetian. I am proud that I am part of this world, part of the mighty, strong, multinational people of Russia. This is what Vladimir Putin said during a meeting with the Russian Security Council 2 years ago. Now, who is really fighting the war in Ukraine? No, they are not the Russians we're used to. Beyond Slavic Russians stand 160 ethnic minorities. In Russia, where political rights are scarce, the government has been instrumentalizing ethnic minorities in the war against Ukraine, leading to disproportionate casualties. Take the Buryats, for example. Despite being only 6% of Russia's population, they've accounted up to 25% of death in the war against Ukraine. This disparity clearly shows the oppression of ethnic minorities orchestrated by the Russian government. Russia's post-2020 constitution elevates Russian to official language, reducing minority language education and devaluing them as languages. This effectively erases the cultural identity of these ethnic minorities. Russia's withdrawal from the European Convention of Human Rights in 2022 speaks volumes of its disregard and neglect of fundamental human rights. By perpetuating discriminatory practices against ethnic minorities, Russia has failed in its obligation to protect its citizens' rights that stands at the core of all international human rights treaties. State-sponsored harassment like the selective enforcement of residence requirements, or in other words, propiska, perpetuate oppression among ethnic minorities. The Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination and other human rights organizations such as Memorial documented arbitrary arrests and extortion specifically targeted at Meskhetians, Yezids, Hemsils, Kurds, and many other ethnic minorities, all for the sake of the so-called counter-terrorist measures. International community must hold Russia accountable for all of its violations of human rights and ensure that every ethnic minority is treated with dignity and respect. It is time to advocate for all individuals' rights, regardless of their ethnicity. In his video address, Putin stated, I am Lak, I am Dagestan, I am Chechen, Ingush, Russian, Jew, Tatar, Mordvin, Ossetian. Yet the reality speaks louder than words. Ethnic groups are not disposable cannon fodder. Instead, they all deserve equal protection under the law.